Hello, in this video we will learn about the sleep physiology. So what will be happen during the sleep and um, how we sleep, let's begin to understand. Sleep is a temporary stage of unconsciousness and the brain is response to internal stimuli rather than the external stimuli. So remember, during the sleep, the internal response will change, the internal stimuli will trigger to sleep. The sleep is very important for the cell division. So during the night time, the cell division and growth will be increased. Stimuli is hypoxia, melatonin rise due to dim light, and digestion, rest, happiness, or other drugs, which that is also involved. The external stimuli also will lead to cause the sleepiness, and the natural it is unlike coma or general anesthesia. Easy to reversible to wakefulness. Basically, the easy to reversible, not like an unnatural, which there will not wakefulness easy to easily. Let's begin to understand the electroencephalogram. So in this way, the record of the EEG, the electroencephalogram record. In this way, during the duration of the night, whole duration of the sleep, we can record and check the waves. So the superficial layer of a cerebral cortex can put the electrode to detect through EEG. Awake with mental activity will lead to increase the beta waves, the 14 to 13 hertz. It is the most active. During the resting, the alpha 8 to 13 hertz increase. The sleeping mean the theta 4 to 7 hertz the frequency is more or less, while the deep sleep is the delta 3.5 hertz to 3 hertz. It is very low frequency of the brain, the waves of the brain, which that is detecting through EEG, electroencephalogram record. Phase of sleep, let's begin to understand. The phase of sleep we can divide into REM and non-REM. REM mean the rapid eye movements, while the non-REM mean non-rapid eye movement. In this way, the non-REM can be divided into the N1, 2, and 3. Let's begin to understand through EEG and with graph with the whole sleep period. In this way, the wakefulness will lead to these waves, and the N1 will be create down. When go down the deep sleep, we are going to the deep sleep. So the N1 is easy to wake because it is not any deep sleep, while the N2 phase of the non-REM sleeping mode and the spindle and the K complex formation occur, and the waves will be occurring this time here. This is the sleeping waves theta, and the delta waves are muscle relax, difficult to wake the sleeper, and in this way the frequency of the EEG of the brain will lead to decrease more, while after the some duration after 2 to 3 hours it will be again enter into the N2 and again N2 to N2 to the N1, and in this way the N1 it the alternation will occur, and in this way that is why for the maintenance and the breathing as well as other things will be maintained. REM is the rapid eye movement under the eyelids. So remember, it can be again and again shift from the non-REM to the REM. That is very important for the maintenance of the body. So the EEG is similar to wake. So remember that here is the dreams occur in the N1, and the N2 is basically a vital signs are up and the muscle atonia, the sleep paralysis will occur in this way. N2, while the vital signs are up. So the repetition will occur in this way. The next repetition, the N3 will be decreased, while the N2 and REM will increase, and the third one is more increase the N2 and REM, and in this way the N3 will decrease. The deep sleep will be decreased with the passage of time. So that is why we will ultimately awake. Anyhow, let's begin to understand the homeostatic drive and the circadian rhythm is also involving for the homeostasis of the sleep. Let's begin to understand the homeostatic drive which that stimulate the sleep. Homeostatic drive is the adenosine, and adenosine will trigger the sleep pressure decrease. So that when sleep pressure will decrease will lead to more sleepy, and that is why the adenosine will bind with the specific part of the brain with the receptor, adenosine receptor. While the caffeine is also used to inhibit this sleep and increase the sleep pressure, and in this way the sleep pressure when increased lead to wakefulness. So the caffeine will work antagonistically to the adenosine when bound with the adenosine receptor is here. So in this way the adenosine will unable to bind with a specific region of the brain or specific region of the any part of the brain or nervous system. And the circadian rhythm is another way. In this way, the daytime, the inhibition of the sleep, while the nighttime, it can be stimulated due to the melatonin production. We will understand in the end of this video. So remember, some person can trigger the melatonin during the daytime because they are active in the night but the inactive in the day. So they will close their eyes will lead to decrease the light. In this way they can sleep. Circadian rhythm is another. In this way let's begin to understand with detail. Circadian rhythms basically the mesocephalon is involved of the brain and brainstem. The sleep promoting region is the ventral lateral preoptic nucleus VLPO. VLPO and LH is involved. This is the nuclei of the brain. Remember, let's begin to understand the VLPO. VLPO basically contains many receptors, and the adenosine receptor when bind with the adenosine will lead to sleep trigger, while when caffeine will bind with the VLPO will inhibit the sleep. While the suprachiasmatic nucleus will inhibit the VLPO to wakefulness, so that is why during the daytime the SCN will activate, lead to inhibit. While the wake promoting signal is the GABA will inhibit also the VLPO. So this is the homeostatic process. While the tuberomammillary nucleus, the TMN, the TMN is also involved. Let's begin to understand where is the TMN. Here is the pineal gland also involved. TMN is also involved. TMN nucleus, tuberomammillary nucleus, and LTD, PPT, and LC and DR. This is I am drawing the tuberomammillary nucleus, TMN, which that is the histaminergic and GABAminergic neuron are present, which that is neurotransmitter inhibit. This inhibits the neurotransmitter through GABA to the VLPO during the daytime, while the night time this VLPO will inhibit the tuberomammillary nucleus. In this way, antagonistically work and mutual inhibition during the daytime and night time to each other. This homeostatic process is a marvel. This is the SCN. Let's begin to understand this activate during the daytime will lead to trigger the LH, hippocretin, will trigger the TMN, the tuberomammillary nucleus. In this way, after the triggering during the daytime will inhibit the VLPO. In this way, the wakefulness. While the REM on through acetylcholine a neurotransmitter and the REM off is the another mechanism. In this way the inhibition during the daytime and stimulation inhibition to each other during the day and night time. REM on during the night time and REM off during the daytime. Let's begin to understand the melatonin, how it's produced. Let's begin to understand. During the dim lights, so because here is the brainstem, this is the spinal cord and the mesencephalon, the limbic system, and in this way here you can see the dim light during the night time activate the retina to the rod cell will be activated. The retina rod cell activate and cone cell will inhibit because the dim light sensitivity sensor is a rod cell. When rod cell sense the optic neuron will trigger to the SCN, the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Suprachiasmatic nucleus will trigger to the paraventricular nucleus, and in this way the paraventricular nucleus basically trigger to the spinal brain stem will lead to preganglionic sympathetic axon. This preganglionic sympathetic axon will trigger the superior cervical ganglion. The superior cervical ganglion will trigger the postganglionic axon. This postganglionic axon will directly target to the pineal gland to release the and synthesis of the melatonin because melatonin will release from the pineal gland. After release of the pineal gland, rush into the blood. Increase the blood circulatory system with melatonin will target it with a different tissue, for example, brain, muscle, bones, etc. So during the daytime, the melatonin will be decreased while the synthesis and release of the melatonin during the nighttime and excrete and degrade from the urinary system during the daytime for homeostasis. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share. This was the sleep physiology. Bye.